Hi guys, this is Jamie from System22 and GreatWebDesign.com. Welcome to another in our series of a one-page scrolling Bootstrap website build. We're going to continue where we left off. There's not much left to do now. We're going to add the footer. Where we left off last time, we added this Google map here, the live Google map. So what we want to do is just below there, we'll put a little footer with our logo in it and a little copyright notice. So let's open our brackets software. And once again, for those of you that haven't been following this, brackets is this text editor is a free text editor here, and you can download it from a link below this video. So if we scroll down to where we left off, which is where I probably was just now, there we are. Let's just add a footer, and it's pretty easy, so we'll call it footer. And we'll give it a class of footer, funnily enough. And then what we're going to do, we want a left and a right section. The left section is going to have our little logo in it, and the right section is going to have just a little copyright notice in it. So let's do another div of the class of row, because we all want it to all be on the same row. Just give this a class of row. And then in between here is where we want to put our two little columns. And like we said before, if I go back to the site, our page area is made up of 12 sections. Now I want a section on the left hand side with the logo, our logo right here. We can just use the one we've got there. And a logo on the right section with our copyright. As it's a footer, it's going to be full width, so it's going to spread the whole full width. Now, if it's 12 sections, I can either split it into two, 6 and 6, and if I center align it, our logo will appear here and our copyright will appear here. But I think 6 and 6 is overdoing it. I think what I want is I'll have one column of 4, and then an offset of nothing for 4, and then another column on the right of 4, and it's really easy to do. So that's what we're going to do. Go back to our brackets. Let's create our first one, which is just a div of a class of column 4. Column mid 4. So it'll display on as a 4-section column on all devices pretty much. And then we want another one which is going to be beside it, but we want to push it over an extra 4. And to do that we have to give it an offset class. I'll show you exactly what I mean here. So let's create another div, and then we'll give it a class for a change. And this one, we want it column mid 4. I could have copied this over. It's not a bad idea to... I do like making the workload easy by copying whenever I can. But it's a good idea to type it out sometimes because it helps you to remember. Okay, and this one we want column... It's a medium column. And we want it to be offset by 4. So we simply put offset 4 in there. This way we'll have one column of 4, then there'll be a blank space of offset 4, and then we'll have another column of 4 on the right hand side. In theory. No, it'll work fine. Bootstrap 4 is actually out now in the beta testing version. They've got some new classes there which are great. I shall be doing another course on that. Okay, let's get our first one organized here. Now this is where we want to put our logo. So let's just and I want to kind of center it in the middle of this little box here, our logo. So I'm going to give it a class of text center, which will actually center it for us. As you already know from previous videos. Okay, close that up. Now all I'm going to do is, here's a bit of cheating for a change. I'm just going to copy our logo that we've used in the top up here. Simply copy that, bring it down. I'm going to get rid of a couple of those classes that it's got here and put it in where we just left off there. Okay, we don't need that. In fact, I don't need any class on there. I'm just going to leave it as it is and just leave the anchor tag href, which will drag it back to the top there. It'll just shoot back instantly to the top there. There's our logo. That's fine. Now for our next one, again, I'm actually going to copy this. There's me telling you to type it all out so you remember it. Okay, I want it to be text center, and of course we've got to close that div out. And in this div, we just want a bit of paragraph text, which is P, as you well know. Then we're going to write copyright. And we want the, hello, I've got the caps lock on. And we want the copyright symbol. I'll just redo this correctly. And then we want the copyright symbol, which is a little short code, and it's the ampersand symbol, and then copy, a little semicolon after it. And then the name of our site, or just call it one page. Obviously you call yours whatever your site's called. And then 2017 to present, that will cover it. Can't believe 2017 is almost over. Okay, so I think we've got everything we need in there now. May have to give this a class because I've got a feeling we'll want to add a bit of padding to this because the logo is so much larger than this text here. So let's go ahead and save. Control S and back to our site and take a look, see what we've got here. At the moment we've got nothing, so let's refresh. And there's our footer. Well, it's almost there. It's kind of what we wanted. We click on that and go back to the top. Just make sure that works. Yep. Take us straight back to the top. But our copyright, I don't want that up there. I want it kind of down in the middle. And did you see what I'm talking about offsetting that column there? And you can do it with any size column. So we've got a 4 section here. Because it's a footer, like I say, it's not in a container, it's full width. We've got 4 there, then we've got a blank 4. And then we've got another 4 over here. And we've got these both centered in the middle of it. So we just need to add a bit of padding now. Let's have a look, see what we want to do. A bit of CSS. Let's inspect this. And we want to go up to our footer. Let's just roll this up so we can see it. There's the footer. Let's say a bit of padding top and bottom. Let's give it 20 pixels. I'll just do one attribute. That way it'll shoot 20 pixels each way on all 4 sides. So let's do this. Yep, that's fine. And then we're going to want to drop that down, but let's just add this little bit of padding here first. So I'll just copy that. And back to our brackets. This time we want to open our CSS scrolling nav. And for those that haven't been following along with this series, we've just got all our Bootstrap files in one folder here. There's our index HTML file that we've been working on here, and our CSS is the scrolling nav in our CSS folder here, and all you need to do is right click and open it with brackets. And let's go down to where we left off. Well, we're right there already, which is good. And we'll just give it a section title of footer. Now we want to put dot footer because that's what we was working on, that class. Open close curly brackets. And just paste in that bit of padding that we had there. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to just... The background itself is white, but I'm going to make sure it stays white by just giving it a background class of white, or FFF, or FFF for real. But you only need to put 3 if it's 6 all the same. So it's just background. And then the color, which is FFF. You won't see any changes there because it's already actually white, but that's just going to confirm that it stays that way. Then this copyright, let's just save that, Control S. Then this little copyright gizmo right here, we're going to want to drop that down so it's centered in line with this. So let's just select it. In fact, I'll go down to it right here. It's going to be inside our second column there. So let's give this a class so we can actually just work on it rather than the whole section here. So if we go back to our HTML in our bracket software, and here's our little class with our copyright in it. You can either put it there, but I think I'll put it here. Actually, I don't want a capital P there. I'm not sure. I think I had my caps lock stuck on it. It's working fine, but really want it to be lowercase like that. Control save. Right, let's give this an extra class. We'll call it copy. You can just give it a space after that last attribute there. I'll call it copy for want of anything else. I don't think we've used that before. Now let's just save that, Control S. Now if we go to our scrolling nav, we can add that class there. Let's see what we want to roll it by. Let's just refresh this. Now it's refreshed. You should see that little copy, and there we are. There's that attribute copy. So I want to select that little section, and let's give it some padding at the top, say 25 pixels. Or pixels. Okay, that's, yeah, I think that's about right actually. What does 30 look like? I think 30 is actually more central there. Yep, I'm happy with 30. So let's just do that. Just copy this. Control C. Back to our bracket software. And we called that class copy, so it's dot copy. And open and close curly brackets. And we can just paste that in there. Just take it back, Shift Tab, just take it back, get it in line with the others. We'll save that. Back to the site, do a refresh, and it should all stay the same. Let's refresh. There we have it, and there's our footer. That'll work. Very simple, very easy to do. So we just want to add, we're almost done here. In the next video, I'll show you how to create a PHP form and upload this site to the server so it actually all sends and is all live. But I'll just finish this video off by just adding a couple of sections to our menu here. So I think we've got the about, services and contact. We want to add the wedding section and the portrait section. So if we go to our HTML for a change, index HTML, let's make sure we've got the right attributes going on. So there's our contact section. We know that's working. It's our ID of contact. It's our partners section. We don't want to link to that, I don't think. Here's our wedding section. It's got the ID of wedding. That's fine. And the portrait section, got the ID of portrait, singular. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Let's add those to our menu. Here's our menu as it exists at the moment. I think I want portraits and then weddings. No, I don't. I think I want about, services, then portraits, then weddings. So all we need to do is we'll just copy that services one right there. Control C. Drop down one. Now we'll call this portraits. And it was portrait singular, the ID, I believe. If it wasn't, it's not going to work. Okay, and we'll copy it one more time. Drop it down. This one was weddings. And the class, or the ID I should say, was weddings also. Let's save that. See what it looks like and see if it actually works. As long as I've got those IDs correct, it should work fine. And we're all saved. Let's go back to the site. Do a quick refresh. There we go. There's our new menu items. Let's get to the top of the page. There's our new menu items, portraits, weddings, contacts. So let's try it. About, services, portraits, weddings. Hello, weddings is not working. Contact. Let's see why our wedding section is not working. Back to our HTML. Spelled weddings right. Let's make sure that that is the correct ID for it. Portraits, weddings, wedding singular. That's the problem. Like I was saying before, if it's not spelt correctly, it won't work. So let's take the S off the end of there. Save. Back to the site. Do a quick refresh. Take it to the top. See if our weddings now works. Looks like it's going to work. There we go. There we go. Job done. So that's going to do it. And of course, if you wanted to link to an external site or something like that, you can add a different class. I'll just add one to show you quickly here. Don't need the page scroll if we're doing it, but I'll just leave it there for expediency. What I'll do is, I'll just call this external. And all you need to do is put your URL of the external site. Let me just grab one here. Here's one of my sites. In here, between the two little inverted commas there, making sure not to clip them off. Get rid of that class there, we just don't need it. And another little tip, if you want it to open in a new page, this will just go straight to there from your existing site. Well, I'll just show you. Control S, back to the site. There's that new link we did. What I'm going to do is I'll click on it and it'll take us on the same page to the new link, the external link. There we go, there's my site. Let's go back. Now, most of the time you don't want people to leave your website. You'd rather have it open in a new tab here. So to do that, go back to the brackets. It's really easy. After your link there, put a little gap in there. Put target, well, it's even prompted us target equals underscore blank. See, underscore blank, and that will open it in a new page. Save that, back to the site. Fresh. Let's go to the top. And this time it'll open it in a new tab up here. There we go. So it's opened it in a new tab and we've still got our regular site next door to it here, which is exactly what we want. So that's pretty much it for this site. Like I said, we'll add a PHP form, or we'll link a PHP send mail form to this form and upload the whole site to an online server in the next video and get it all working, and that will be done. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and Great Web Design. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. We also offer web design courses. There's some great deals in the links below this course. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.